leg is hurting, getting old. Jesus.
At least alternative.
Turn this off so I think I got something else going on up here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Students of the week, BJ Green, Creative Technology and Design, Mata, Communication. Receivers, we're one of 5 teams that has 4 receivers with a 100-yard receiving game this season, joining Miami, Penn State, Pitt, UCLA. So 4 defensive sacks. We had 7 sacks in Arizona. We have 16 sacks in the last 3 games after getting just 5 in the first 4 games. We lead the Big 12. Defensive takeaways, we forced 3+ turnovers in 3 straight road games for the first time since Moby Dick was a medal. Curtis, you said that? I can't believe you said that, Curtis. You sound like me. Darn it. Road wins, back-to-back 27-point road wins for the first time since I had a curl. Curtis, you tripping, man. You tripping today, man. This is the first time we won 3 straight games on the road since Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were spotted. We've had 2 of the largest and 3 top 5 road wins in the last 19 years this season. Now, that sounds like you. This campus is unbelievable. A few of us walk around it every day, and I was just talking about how beautiful it is, and I never see them cut the grass. But the grass is always manicured. So I'm wondering, do they do that? Like, when do they do that? I'm serious. So as we were talking about that, a guy stops on his cart in front of us, gets off, shakes my hand, and he's the guy that does the grounds. As I was just saying that. So hats off to him. God bless you. I think we have one of the best landscapes and just the department that takes care of our grounds, because these grounds are impeccable, and I walk daily around this campus. And it is beautiful, and I never see one blade of grass out of just out. And I see like several lakes that I need to do a deal with a bass company so I could put some bass in the lake so I could fish, on campus. But it's flat out beautiful. I just wanted to share that moment. All right, let's get going.
Nikki, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? We just spoke with Jordan Seaton, and he just emulates so much maturity, and he's had such a great season so far. When you watch him and as you've seen him grow this season, what have you seen from him, and how do you feel like he's going to, build a future here at Colorado?
This is what we expected from Jordan. I don't know why you are surprised when some kids get that 5-star beside their name and they don't live up to expectations. But Jordan is a guy, when you talk to him, you do your background on him, you talk to family members, people that knew him coming up and understood what makes him who he is. He's kind of like a can't miss when you do your due diligence and your homework and you put him in the right situation, that he don't need to be great, he just needs to be him. And having veterans around him, upperclassmen, that can mold him and take him to the next level. Then having the tremendous friendship and relationship that he has with Shador, which he's invested. Like, not only do I not want to play bad and give up a sack, but I don't want them to touch my boy. That's a whole different thought process. So I'm glad and I'm thankful that he chose us. God bless his uncle, who played a vital role into helping him make that wonderful decision. But Jordan is he's exactly who we thought he would be, and then some, especially in the classroom and off the field, in his practice habits.
Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, Coach. Adam Tiger, 24/7 Sports. Just hoping for an update on Travis and how he's doing and kind of how this week looks for him.
Travis is better than last week. I think he'll have more productivity because he's feeling much better than last week. You could just tell with his little giddy up and the way he goes about life, a little more pep in his step today. I think he did some conditioning today for sure to make sure he's on point with his conditioning, because he never tires, and we want to keep that what it is. But I think he will certainly contribute a lot more than he did a week ago because he's healthier.
Jake, go ahead.
Hey Coach, Jake Schwanstein.
How you doing, Jake?
Good, man. How you doing?
Excellent.
You guys have a lot of recruiting momentum right now. I'm just curious what your message is to those recruits out there.
My message don't change, regardless of your record, regardless of what you guys may think of the program. The messages don't change. We're a team full of opportunities, and when we go out and get guys from high school, we have an expectation of them to play. We really want them to play. We don't want to put them on the back burner or sit them down and put them on the bench. We want them to play so they can see that. They can see where they fit. There's a certain ratio that we want from the portal as well as from high school and so forth, that we have that balance. I can't tell you that right now because it's all how it plays out, because you're going to lose probably 2 to 3 or maybe 5 unexpected players that may jump on you in the portal. But you got to be prepared for that. So you factor that in as well. We kind of know what we're doing. I know it didn't seem like we did early on, but we've been doing this for a while, building teams ever since I was a coach at the youth level that went in and made something out of nothing in the hood in Dallas. So we kind of know how to work the landscape a little bit, and now it's coming to pass, and we're excited about it. But yes, winning does help with recruiting, the overall thought process of people joining something that's already successful. People don't want to join something that's failing. They want to join something that's successful. So with the continued success, we pray that we do a better job in recruiting as well. But you can't measure us by how many we pull out of high school. Why would you pull 30 kids out of high school when 30 kids are not going to play? I know last year we may have played arguably the most freshmen in the Big 12, or probably in the Pac-12 a year ago. And right now we've had up to 3 starters that were freshmen on the field at one time this year. So I think we do a tremendous job of getting those guys involved when they can handle the expectation.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey Coach, Brian Howell from
How you
Oldendale
doing?
Camera. It seemed like just a few weeks ago we were talking about your front was on defense was playing well but not getting those sacks.
Mhm.
Now they're leading the Big 12. What is kind of flipped for that group to where they're starting to get to the quarterback?
The practice habits, film study, preparation, them receiving the coaching that administers to them each and every day, them understanding what we want, them really just throwing their hands up and say, I give, I'm going to do it your way. Our way ain't working, I'm going to do it your way. And it's working. When you have a skilled defensive play caller, when you have 2 defensive line coaches that have come out of the NFL, and one is a Hall of Famer, when you have guys that actually want it, and they got to understand, man, let's do our jobs and they're going to come. Stop thinking about you. Resist the opportunity to become selfish and just play the scheme and watch what happens. And they understand that now. They understand it now. So you should see more. I think we missed 5 sacks last week, and we weren't proud of that. So what they're doing right now, we're not going to put baby powder on their chest and pat them down like they're baby. We're not going to do that. We expect that. We expect them to be where they are right now. We expected that several weeks ago. They just now meeting the expectation that we have for them.
Jack, go ahead.
Coach, Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
How's it going, Coach?
Good, sir.
Just curious, early thoughts on Cincinnati this week?
Cincinnati is great. Cincinnati, they're playing really good football. If you match up statistically, we're kind of right there with one another. Our defense may have the edge just a little bit, but offensively, they have a lot more balance with running and passing the football. I like what they're doing. They're not flashy, it's not a sexy thing, but they get the job done. And I love the way they attack, I love the way they get to the ball. I love what they're accomplishing this season. It's a tremendous task. We cannot make mistakes and we cannot start off slow. We got to go get them. We got to go at them. And that's what we plan on doing.
Good, John.
Coach John Treach,
Yes, sir.
how do you feel about these last TV window national games where basically the entire sport watches all day and then Colorado plays, and it's a showcase, but it's also very late.
Yeah, We don't like it, but we do love it. You don't like it because of the time, but you love it because we're chosen to be on television once again. I think that's 8 consecutive weeks that we're proud that we're chosen. And once upon a time that you was begging to be on television, so we're not gonna toot our nose up at being on national television. Yeah, we could argue with the time, but we're still appreciative and thankful, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. I mean, you gotta change the schedule, you gotta prepare the kids because we practice in the morning, so now we gotta do body adjustments, time adjustments, sleep adjustments for our young men so that they could start off fairly quickly. We hadn't started off quick in the night games because of that flips our whole schedule. We fared better in day games because that's who we are. But we plan on making adjustments this week to make sure we get the proper sleep, the proper rest, and we're ready and prepared for kickoff, regardless of whatever time it is.
Hey, Coach, I'm back right
How you doing?
Press. Last year when you guys got for the fast start, it was, took the world by storm and everybody was talking about you. This year it just seems kind of more like a quieter 5-2 start. Is that by design? That it's basically we're going to show you and not talk about it?
I don't think you design yourself to be 5-2. You design yourself to be 7-0 if we're gonna design it. We're gonna order it. Like that's what we would want. No, we've earned what we are. We actually feel like we're better than what we are because we're just starting to see the fruit of the work and the understanding of the expectation that we have for ourselves. Forget what others have of us, but what we have for ourselves. And, not that I'm looking back, but dropping the last one at home was tremendous. And we could be in a much better place. But we control our own destiny, and we like that. So we're going to apply pressure not only to our own team, not only to the coaches, but we're going to apply pressure to the opposing teams because we want to win out. And we cannot do that without winning Saturday.
Troy, go ahead.
Coach, how are you? Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. That's 3 straight road games now where you guys have played, 3 of the most complete games since you've been here. Is there something about this group that likes going and playing in hostile environments?
We like to be booed and they say and hate it. That turns us on. Turns us on. It's kind of sexy, matter of fact. That's how I felt when I played. I mean, I love to be on the road and get booed and they say it and hate it on it. I think we like being the underdogs and we like being those type of people. Not that we don't look at the betting line or whatever. Underdogs meaning on the road away from home. But we like that. We like that. We really do.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just a couple for you today. First would be some situations have popped up over the last 3 or 4 games or so where you've been faced with 4th down decisions, right? Like you were 4th and 10 at the 30. Can you kind of take us kind of behind the scenes what your thought process is on some of those? Because some of them go against what analytics would say.
Who is the guy named Analytics?
It's statistics.
I never
and
met him.
math.
I never seen him. I don't know what he looked like. Is he a winner? Is he wealthy? Is he broke? Who is he? I don't know what he looks like. It's you got to know your team. Forget analytics, man. You got to know your team and what they're capable of. Sometimes it's just self-explanatory. I wasn't a math major in college, but I was pretty smart. But I'm not going to sit there and do mathematics on the sideline. So when you see a flag on our sideline, that means we get the ball right there, Monica kick it from there. That's what that means to me. I ain't got time to be adding 40 plus 7 plus 2. I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't got time. So when we get to that, if we hadn't got to that flag, we probably go for it because punting, what does that do? It give you an extra 15 yards. That's stupid. Give you an extra 20 yards. That don't make sense. So especially with the quarterback we have and the offense skill set that we have, and sometimes we go for it. Sometimes, no, I don't like the momentum. I don't like the feel. I don't like the conversation I just heard. I don't like it. Let's get out of it. Let's punt the ball. And sometimes we may have a call coming in that I see all that. We had a call last week. It was a 0 coverage, and I see our strong safety on their best receiver. Timeout. See, you guys don't hear all that and see all that stuff. Like, hey, timeout. I don't like that. I know what's about to happen right here. And, so it's a feeling, and it's on me. When we succeed, I like everyone else get the credit for it, but when we fail, I don't mind taking it because it's on me.
The other one I have for you today is you went out this offseason and hired, some new members of your coaching staff, but several of them had not technically had that job title before.
Who's that?
Robert Livingston, his
He was
first
a
time
pro.
defensive
He was
coordinator.
a pro. I think his pay grade, what he brought to the table was above that job title.
That's true, but I guess my point was, it's just from an experience standpoint of having
From
done it
experience of
before.
being a pro football coach in the NFL and a college coordinator, a pro football coach and a college coordinator, not only a pro football coach, a defensive back coach of the NFL. Think about who he's coaching in the NFL, to be able to control his room, to be able to have that voice, and me to talk to like a kid, like a son to me, Adam Pac-Man Jones. Tell me how he handled the room, and he validates it. Mike Zimmer, and Marvin Lewis, and so forth, who validated him. Shoot, that's a no-brainer, man.
I think my question was, is it's not just him, right?
Right.
Bill hadn't done that before technically yet either. How have you felt this?
Who?
Coach Lundholt.
See, the thing about it, just because they don't have a title, that don't mean they wasn't a man.
Oh, I got you. But
Okay.
I just meant from a title perspective alone.
I ain't with that.
Okay.
Because a lot of folks with titles in this room right now ain't doing their job. Somebody else is doing it. All right? As well as many people, right?
Yeah.
That's just how life is. The title does not constitute the job.
Sure.
So I just want you to know that in life now. So we do our homework and understand this guy may not have a title, but he did all the work. So you got to go do a little deeper research in what we did with these young men. Even with Sapp. Sapp ain't never been no darn coach.
And so I guess
He
my
got a gold jacket.
I guess my question was, how proud of you are of them, of the staff, of your hires, 7 games through the season? and the
Tremendously.
cohesiveness?
Tremendously. But we're not near where we want to be. Because, like I hold myself accountable for what goes wrong around here. When we're not getting the job done, a kid would only do what you allow. So when we have those positions that are not playing up to standard, that's on the coaches and that's on me. So we gotta make sure we handle that. And we got a bunch of guys that are like-minded that can handle that. And I love it. I love pro football coaches. College football coaches, I adore them. But I'm a pro guy. I like those pros. I really like those guys that came from that level because we kind of connect a little better. They kind of understand what I want, what I desire, how I think a lot better than at the collegiate level. A lot of college coaches, they're wonderful coaches. Phenomenal. I can't hold some of their jocks. But some of them rely on scheme. Pros rely on man to consummate the scheme. College coaches really rely on a lot of schemes sometimes that they brought over. Let's play this scheme. No, you got to get the men to buy into what you're trying to, not sell them, but place them in those responsibilities that they can handle it. And sometimes the collegiate level don't do that. They just so bent over on what they bring to the table instead of understanding you got a room full of guys that don't do that. You may need to change a little bit and allow them to be who they are.
Couple more, Taylor.
Good question, though.
Thank you.
How's it going, Coach?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good.
Good. Okay. Taylor Zaleski, Sports Illustrated. Just wondering if you had any more time like this late in the season just to reminisce on playing with your boys and their college career with Shiloh.
Yeah.
That makes it all.
That's not easy. If I start reminiscing about that, it'll start, going the other way on me. I start thinking about the end instead of thinking about we just getting started. But we talk about it some. We don't talk about it a lot. We think about it some. We don't think about it a lot. It just so happens that when Shador and I was making the walk last week, Shiloh joined in. That was the first time he ever did that. Usually he wants his individual time, his individual prayer, his individual everything. But he joined in, and then Junior was right behind us filming it, and somebody captured all 3 of us, in one setting, and it was the most beautiful thing ever. So I'm like, I gotta have that picture. That has to go up on the crib, in the crib in Texas. Like, that has to go up. So that was a beautiful moment, and we treasure those moments. We really do.
Good, Tyler.
Hey, Coach, Tyler King with
How you
the
doing, Tyler?
Denver Gazette. I want to ask specifically about Shane Cokes. Obviously, he's a guy that has been here throughout your entire tenure here, one of the guys that you talked about very early on in the first spring you got here. How valuable has he been in just the turnaround the defense has made from last year to this year, and where you guys are at this point?
Shane is a staple. Shane is consistent. Shane is going to watch probably the most film of any defensive lineman. Shane is going to be where he's supposed to be. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He kind of corrals all the guys up front and makes sure they're doing the necessary things they need to do for us to be successful. He is who he is. What I wish, I want him to be a little more relentless, a little more like selfish, if you would ask, like a little more just go get it and just leave it, everything you got out there on the field. Not that he's not, but I just want him to get a little nastier. You know, go get me a penalty every now and then.
Right, go ahead.
Everybody else is, he might as well join it.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about Jimmy Horn.
Mhm.
He had a huge opening at night.
Right.
And since then, it's been pretty quiet by his standards. I know he's been
Mhm.
banged up the last couple of weeks. How do you feel like he's doing physically, and like, do you feel like he's sort of due for another Jimmy Horn type game?
Jimmy is Jimmy, man. Jimmy don't complain. Jimmy don't cry, bicker, and murmur. Jimmy ain't like that. Jimmy wants to get in when he fit in. But everybody, including scouts, know the value of Jimmy Horn. Just because he's not receiving 10 balls at a time, that does not mean he's not valuable, because a lot of digs that we're getting is because Jimmy just cleaned out the house running the 9 right up the seam to make it available for all the other guys. So Jimmy do a lot of the grunt work. We had him on a couple screens last week where we weren't successful. We missed a block here and there to get him the ball. But I promise you, he's in every game plan. We want to get him the ball. Sometimes the game plays out a little different than you really rehearsed it that it would be. But Jimmy Horn is a professional football player just playing at the collegiate level for this moment. I love everything about him. I love the way he practices. When he touches the ball on special teams, he's going to make a big play. That's why we start utilizing him on the punt return a lot more, because every team we play kicks the ball out of the dirty end zone. And we got to figure out why we're not kicking the ball out of the dirty end zone. But Jimmy is phenomenal. I love everything about him. Love who he is as a man. Not drinking, not smoking. He don't party at club much. I mean, he's a good kid, and I love him to life. And I'm going to make sure he gets to the next level.
Two
Is
more
his health
quick
okay?
ones.
Excuse me?
Is his health okay?
Yeah, Jimmy's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, morning, Coach. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Every morning, I gotta admit, I turn on, I go to your Instagram, looking for that morning motivation message. You coming back with them? I mean, you know your morning motivation. I got mine. You gonna get yours? You know the messages. I believe looking forward to it. You gonna come back with them? Because I've been lacking.
I send a message out every morning.
Okay.
You better check your gram. I don't miss. Monday through Friday, my message is consistent. I don't work on weekends. I'm doing something else called football coaching. But no, Monday through Friday, I'm morning messages out anywhere from 4:50 a.m. until probably 7 a.m. So it's there. Right, Neil?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Who you got for the World Series?
I don't care about no World Series. At all. God ain't forget you. The real question is, did you forget him? When you wake up, when you turn on the lights, when you run the water, when you reach in the refrigerator, when you get in your car, and before you get to wherever you're going, do you say, Lord, I thank you? Don't forget who's responsible. How can you miss that one? There you go. Yeah, that one. I think 27,000 other people got it, my brother.
Last one, Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Scott
How
Proctor.
you doing, my man?
DNVR, how you doing?
Good.
I'm doing well. Each of the top 4 running backs, I believe, have gotten a chance to start. I think you said that that's by design. You think that's only fair?
Yes.
Is that something you expect to continue to happen?
Well,
or is that a
you
situation
want one of them to jump out
Right.
and stand shoulders above the others.
Right.
We're going to go back with the big fella again this week.
Who's that?
The one that started last week. I called him 2-3. Give me a name. You know how I am. I forget everybody. I can't remember Neely's name right there. Right, Neely?
Yes, sir. You
Yeah,
got it
can't
already?
remember. Yeah. Naples franchise player. He hits it. He's physical. He runs downhill. He's not second guessing, trying to bounce to the outside. And at times, we need that. There's different schemes and different approaches for different teams. This team we're going to need, because they 3-man front. They may drop 8 on us, to stop the pass game. We're going to need to gash him. And the big fella, He does not hesitate. He's downhill and he's going and he wants it. I mean, he wants it like all the rest of them. But one has an ankle, one has a hamstring, and Charlie is Charlie, Old Faithful. Like the little engine that could. He just putting away. He's doing his thing. So, but Gustav, he's going to get to start again this week.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless you all. Appreciate y'all.